Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's indoor adventure in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I'm very excited for today's adventure because if you didn't know, last week our players finally completed Chapter 3 and have leveled up. Yay them! So all of the changes have already been made to their D&D Beyond character sheets. So if you're curious as to what our players took, what their decisions were, you can already find that using the D&D Beyond extension below. Also, we are only 4 followers away from hitting 200, which is really weird. So if you're watching this on Twitch, you should definitely share out with your friends and see if you can possibly get us those 4 followers by the end of the evening. Because each follower that we get, Greybeard hits a set of armor in the face with a mallet. RJ.
So who's the new follower?
The new follower? Where? I don't see. There it is. No, those are a bunch of hosts.
Is it not RJustice?
There was not RJustice 282, and then there was Mad Matter 7, who followed about 5 hours ago. So Mad Matter, thank you for the follow.
Is he on?
No, he's not. But you can still give him a bonk to show what people can expect if they do follow during the show.
Sweet. What was his name?
Mad Matter 7.
Mad Matter. This is for you, buddy.
Yeah! It's such a satisfying sound, and you can get a bunch more of those sounds if you convince your friends that we're a good podcast to listen to and hang out with.
Chokehold them.
It's an easy convention. So, I don't think convention is a word, but it is now. So going into last week's session of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, you got... Oh, I forgot to adjust for your guys' stats on my layout, so I'm going to do that later. Sorry. Mental note. So, last week in Waterdeep, you guys got sent to prison, both our dear friends Hubris and Ghost, for being involved with what will be known as the Gralhund Villa massacre, is the phrasing that is used. After you guys were spent your night in jail in the same cell, you were then returned to Lady Gralhund's the following day. Overnight, Kronk and Torvash ended up becoming quick friends, and in the morning made cupcakes to bring to their friends who they assumed they would be picking up outside of the jail. They had gone to Lord and Lady Gralhund's estate, where they were turned away, and then proceeded to head towards the jail, where they were once again turned away, as the people who they had gone to go and see were no longer there, but were actually back at Gralhund Villa, the very place that they had originally departed from. So upon making their way back a second time, they found themselves inside of Lord and Lady Gralhund's estate. Hubris learned a family secret, rather, that he is the first cousin once removed, I believe was the separation, from Lady Gralhund, and you have found out that you are an heir not only to, or not an heir, but a relative of this grand estate, but you're another part of your family lineage has decided to rear up now that it has become more and more cold, as it seems like a old family curse has decided to rear its head during this ugly winter. Then we ended last week's session with Hubris and Ghost having left a bathtub and Torvash downstairs as a swath of guards arrived in Spirits and arrested every single person in the bar minus Torvash. And that is where we'll pick up. So, Torvash, you are just kind of not exactly sure what to do in this moment. And then that is when you hear a pounding from what you know to be the trapdoor.
I'll go open the trapdoor, I guess.
Okay. And you see that there is a tiefling that is red-skinned, very short black hair. You had recognized him to be the cook the night previous. And you see that he actually has a few bottles, and he looks at you and says, all the noise stopped. I heard a lot of shouting, so I just stayed down here. What happened?
Do you have a snake tattoo?
No.
Well, come join me, because apparently everyone else here fucking had one, and it's just us.
All right. And so he ends up climbing upstairs, and he's just looking around and sees that everyone else is gone. And he just sort of looks at you and says, I'm just gonna go. That's okay. There's nobody to make food for anymore, so don't really need a cook. And I get paid by the 10 day, so fuck it. You have yourself a good evening, and just make a note if you end up using any of the stuff that we have prepped in the back, so that way I know in the morning what to refill on. Have a good night, and just steadily walk out the door, kind of leaving you once again in this now completely vacant bar.
I just want to go on stage, and I'm just going to start playing the I'm All Alone, There's No One Here song, and just chill.
Okay.
Because I remember I told Liv to tell the others, remember?
Yeah.
End of last session.
Yes. So, Hubris and Kronk and Ghost, you guys have all kind of reconvened in the general section near where you guys are, or near where the bath was. And that is when you hear, coming from seemingly nowhere, is Liv recreating the sounds of what sounds like an arrest.
What the fuck?
And then he makes a lot of noise to make it sound like a packed bar, and then there are cricket noises that follow.
That can't be good.
No, it can't. Hubris is gonna throw on his coat and make his way downstairs.
Ditto.
Okay. Yeah, so all three of you go downstairs, and when you arrive in the bar, you can see that Torvash is sitting by himself. Torvash, did you end up going onto the stage?
Oh, I'm up on stage.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. I'm here till next week. Try the brownies. Ooh.
Didn't
Yes.
know you were that bad to clear a house. What?
Yeah, well, maybe if all of your patrons didn't have snake tattoos and your staff except your cook, you'd still have people.
What happened?
Guards came and took everyone who was part of the Gentarum. Now, I'm a good lawyer, but even I'm not that good. And I would have to charge for them.
Did they have a warrant?
I think they need warrants in Waterdeep.
I'm pretty sure they might need warrants.
Pretty certain when you're part of a gang that's just slaughtered a bunch of people in an estate, they probably have due right to go.
True. Yeah. The murders. Right.
Yeah.
I look at the pamphlet. Is there anything about a warrant?
No.
All right.
Ew. Fuck.
I'm gonna go outside again. Do I see any ruckus going on in the street?
You see that there are some of your neighbors have actually kind of come outside to see what all of the hubbub was about. And you see that your dear friend, Emrit Froon, is currently going around just kind of like mean mugging your house and pointing at it while he seems to be speaking very coyly to your other neighbors.
Do I see any? Do I see any guards on the street?
You see. Make a perception check.
I think it's plus. Ooh, that's right. I'm playing Ghost. +6. So that's a 23.
Yeah, you end up finding a guard, no problem. You have to go a little bit out of your alleyway. And as you are walking out of the alleyway entrance, Froon, as well as some of your neighbors that you haven't really met, I'll just sort of like give you the mean mug. They seem to kind of be buying into what he had been saying.
Uh-huh. I'm just gonna, before I head out, I'm gonna I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And then I'm going to, as I'm going to walk down the street, I'm gonna go see if the herbalist is open.
Okay. Yeah, Coralon's Crown would be open at this point.
Okay. Does it seem to be affected at all?
No.
Okay.
When you walk in, Fala just, or like when you pass by, Fala just kind of waves at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm not being followed,
Okay.
I guess. So, perception or?
Yeah, we could go make a perception check with advantage because you'd be able to hear if there was a like armored unit following you.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah.
You know, anyone following me. That's a 21.
Okay. Yeah.
+6.
So as you walk around, you don't notice anybody following you.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in. Hello.
Oh, hello, Ghost. Can I help you find anything?
No, but you should probably close up early tonight. They're they're going around collecting people like us.
Like shop owners?
And I pull down my lip to reveal my tattoo.
And their eyes just get kind of big, like, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm not a...
Oh.
I don't...
Oh.
No.
My apologies. I just thought...
No.
Sorry.
Do you mean Zaraj?
Uh-huh.
We're friends.
Right. Just friends?
Yes.
Okay. Is he home?
He is.
May I speak with him?
You're more than welcome. He said that you could come and knock on his door at any time. At least that was what he told me.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good night.
No, be careful. Would you?
I'm always careful.
Of course. Just, they kind of nod. And, then you see them go around and start, like, making sure that things are set right in the shop front. As you go upstairs to Zaraj's room.
And I will gently knock.
Who is it?
It's me.
Why'd you knock? Come on in.
I will open the door.
Okay. And you see that Zaraj is kind of just sitting on a wooden chair that looks a little bit smaller for his form. And he just has a book open.
Didn't take you for a reader.
Gotta keep busy somehow.
Bit of news for you. Our bar was just raided.
No shit.
Yes. Everyone was taken. And I was concerned because they're probably looking for a half-orc and...
Got a good point.
So you should probably lay low for a while.
Well, I already got a pretty sweet gig here, so I think I might just stick around.
Did we tell him what we did the night before? No, we got arrested.
Yeah.
No one told him. Okay. Also, the reason everyone got arrested or taken away was we went to the house, the manor, or the villa last night, and just to stake it out. And we discovered that the split-lipped bastard, as you had referred to him, was holding Lady Gralhund at knife point. And so we went in and saved her, and then realized that there were a lot of dead bodies downstairs, Zent's as well as her guards, workers, and such. And Hubris and I were taken away, and she got us out.
It seems like you got friends in high places.
I try to.
But you saw him. You got away.
We almost killed him, but the guards got in the way.
Well, now he's back on the street. Means I can start looking, or at least have somebody look into it for me.
That would be a better idea, since they know what he looks like.
They don't know what I look like, though.
True. You're not on a list?
Nope. Always tried to stay clear in the city.
It's probably a good idea. You know, you probably shouldn't go around branding everyone in your gang.
We didn't used to. It's been a new policy. Starting to get more and more people claiming their Zens. It's some kind of method to counteract the Xanathar Guild. Their open induction policy.
I see.
But if you ask me, that doesn't exactly make for quality members.
I agree. Well, I just wanted to make sure that you hadn't been bothered by these guards, so, yeah.
That's all. Sure
Well.
you didn't come for anything else?
And he kind of like stands up.
And she kind of crosses her arms. Perhaps another night. I don't want the boys to be worried.
Of course. Well, after you tuck him in, you can feel free to come on back.
I might just do that. And she kind of slides out the door.
Okay. He shuts the door behind you.
Okay. And she's going to return to the house.
Okay. Yeah, so what are you guys doing while Ghost is gone? Because she's going to be gone for about 20 minutes or so.
Hubris is like peeking out the door, looking around.
You sure you should be doing that?
It'll be fine.
It's cold. You cough up shit.
You don't know
You're
that.
sick.
Does,
I know
does
you're coughing
Torvash
up.
know that?
I heard you cough.
Yeah.
There would have been some form of phlegm.
I had to carry you back.
You're sick, buddy.
I wrapped you like 3 times around.
I
in
don't
my
know
coat.
exactly
Okay.
how sick.
I will be fine.
You're also a snake person, and I am not going all the way back to prison. for
I
you.
gently shut the door, pull my sleeve back, snap with prestidigitation, and turn the tattoo completely white, like my skin. And then I shrug.
on a list.
Well, normally they'll look for the snake.
It's like today, tiefling missing half a horn.
Also, if anything, I think
Lives
Ghost and I
here.
were exonerated at some point. So
Still on a list. Some common guard probably won't know.
who's gonna stop somebody in the middle of the street and go, "Hey, are you Hubris because you are white tiefling?" That's a little racist.
What tiefling? That's one horn. I'm just
It's a
saying.
little racist.
Do you think the
Just trying
guards
to be
care?
nice. Remember,
Anyway, he goes back to peeking outside. Who's standing outside? It's like all of our neighbors, basically, right?
It's not. It's neighbors that you like. They weren't shop owners. They weren't prominent like members of the community. They just sort of seem to be other residents that kind of live around the general bar. And you can see that there is a small crowd now around Froon, as you can hear. He has a slightly raised voice and he's pointing towards your bar.
Duck back in, close the door. So a shitstorm's coming. That's always nice.
How?
Old man Froon lives across the way, owns Froon's Brews. Kind of doesn't like us, and he's kind of inciting a crowd.
Do you want me to go try and diffuse said crowd?
I mean, I think they're at that point where it's pitchforks and torches and tar and feathering.
I'm going to try and diffuse the crowd because I don't want to get tarred and feathered for being associated with these people.
Okay. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to go try and calm them down.
All right.
I'm gonna walk out with them. This is not gonna end well.
All right. So, Kronk, what are you
Because
doing?
we
Are
are
you
very
following the
fucking
boys
embarrassed.
outside?
I think I must have, because we got up and took off, made cupcakes and took off early. I think maybe I must have went down and started working out because I missed my morning.
Okay.
Because I rolled a perception check to see if suddenly Ghost was missing without saying anything after the whole jail incident.
Mm-hmm.
Kronk would have lost his shit, but he doesn't even notice. So yeah, I'm just downstairs lifting weights.
Okay. Yeah. So you're downstairs getting your work on. So Hubris, Torvash leads you outside, and he seems to just kind of be beelining directly towards Froon. And the two of you here, as you guys approach, Froon is saying, And did you see? Not even an hour ago, they escorted 30 people out. It must be part of the massacre. Oh, it's you. And he just looks at the two of you as you approach.
I haven't done anything wrong.
Not you, him. And he points at Hubris.
Dude,
He's
stay
been
inside.
keeping this entire alleyway up at night with his damn band playing, and it turns out that the entire thing is some kind of gang. What is that, in our alleyway? I don't think so.
It's not your alleyway.
Do you live here?
No.
I do. I've lived here for quite a long time. This is my alleyway. This is our
your name?
alleyway, isn't that right? And he kind of asks the small crowd of about 6 people behind him that are all like, yeah, we have lived here for a long time. My father was raised here. And there seems to just be a general crowd.
I look over at Torvash, roll my eyes.
This could end really bad, but Torvash is going to put on his sunglasses.
Okay. Sunglasses at night.
He's going to use the item
Okay.
on the screen.
All right. Sounds good. So, what is your save DC?
For that item, it's 13.
Okay.
Wisdom.
So he got a 13 on the die.
Please not be very wise.
But I will say he has disadvantage because he was not expecting you to just immediately look at him with sunglasses. And that's a nat 1.
Yes.
So Torvash, how do you handle this situation with your stunners?
I'm just going to try and calm him down and be like, look, it's not their fault. Guards always come in and harass innocent people all the time. So maybe he should just get everyone back inside, or else the guards may come back and get everyone else in the street for making noise.
You're right. For a while now, as much as I hate to admit it, they have been getting a lot of extra business into the alley. And really, I'm just mad because I want their place. I'm sorry, Hubris.
Now, listen, Froon, I should apologize as well. We shouldn't have, violated like some noise law or what. We should have confirmed with you guys before it was cool to get a band up all night.
And then one of the members of the crowd just, "Hey, you were really pissed a second ago!" And he's just, "Look, I'm talking. It's fine."
You guys should just hug and make up.
He is right. We kind of do look like an almost unruly mob at this point. We should probably... we should all just head back inside. What was your name? You, the very nice man with the nice glasses.
Conrad.
It's nice to meet you, Conrad. He just extends his hand out to you.
Nice meeting you too, friend.
And then the crowd just kind of disperses and Froon walks back into his shop.
I'll take my sunglasses up and be like, in an hour, he's going to be super pissed.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I kind of charmed him. And again, he's going, no. So... Hey, but look, the mob's gone.
The mob's gone, but I think there's something on the code legal about enchanting a citizen.
For Conrad, who I believe is dead. Admittedly, I don't look very inconspicuous either.
The blue hair kind of...
Well, I'm off. Have fun.
Yeah, okay.
Do you mind if I crash the night, though? Because my place is very far away.
How far do you live?
I don't know. We never really worked out where
Several
I live.
minutes away. I'll have Kronk.
I know a guard at, like, the south gate, so I'm assuming somewhere down the south.
No. I'll have Kronk clean some space in Conrad's room for you then.
Pretty certain there's a body in that room.
Yeah, yours.
There was a room I stayed in last night while you were in prison. So I'll probably just take them. There was an empty one. You just had 5 rooms.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
So
okay.
you should probably get inside before you start coughing. And we should probably get away before old mate comes back. And like, you charming.
I am fine. This is why I fucking didn't want this to happen.
Winter.
A lot of things, but yes, winter, one of them. I was actually hoping we would travel south at some point, somewhere warm, with little coconuts and umbrella hat straw things.
Well, maybe later.
Yeah, we'll move in.
All right. And it's around that time that Ghost ends up coming back.
All right. So, how's everyone else's night going?
You're going to have a very angry neighbor in like 45 minutes.
His idea.
Right. So lock up and go to bed?
Let's lock up and go to bed.
I diffused an angry mob. Okay.
Well, that's very impressive. How'd you do that?
Sunglasses.
At night?
Yeah. No one suspects sunglasses at night.
I think that's a fashion faux pas, isn't it?
I think that it is. But you know what? If it worked, good on you.
I'm going to look at both of their outfits and be like, you really can't be talking about fashion.
Excuse me, I look fabulous.
This is an
Ghost looks great.
This is an
You
aesthetic.
like the 1920s.
No.
That's 500 years in the future.
I've seen shit, man.
Well, is there anything else we should be doing tonight? Unless we want to go hunting a half-orc?
No, the streets are going to be swarming with gods right now.
Someone should probably get the big guy working out.
Oh, is Kronk downstairs?
I think that's where he said he went.
Yeah, he's working out.
I will go.
I think we could hear the working out as well.
Probably.
It's the
All right, I'll
Serena
go to
Williams
the
playing
trapdoor.
tennis.
Kronk, We're going to lock up the bar. Would you grab a bottle of wine and come on up if you're done?
Yeah, be right there.
All right.
I'm gonna go to bed. I'll make his breakfast in the morning.
How far is Corlon's Crown from our actual place?
Maybe like 300 feet tops.
Thick. All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. You guys head upstairs. Torvash, you said that you were heading straight to bed so that way you could make them breakfast in the morning. Okay.
Mhm.
I am going to wait for Kronk to come up, have a little bit of wine.
I brought a nice bottle of white.
He knows what's up. We're just drinking it out of the bottle, I assume.
Works for me.
Either that or out of like a fucking mug.
Yeah, that's right. I am gonna go into before we get ready for bed. I'm gonna go into Wolf's room and cast gentle repose on him.
Okay.
If he's starting to.
Yeah, he's starting to marble a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to, keep him fresh. And then I will put on my PJs and have a little girls talk with Kronk.
Kronk fills you in on how he's really jealous of your silk robe.
Oh,
What
we
you
can
got
get
for-
you one.
I don't think we can afford that. That came from somewhere special, right? Another world.
Oh, that's true. Perhaps. I'm sure we can find you something.
Something close. It's good enough.
So I received a letter from Wolf, and
Eyebrows.
when I saw him with Santar, we spoke, and he told me that there was a letter in his room, and I found it, and that's why I got mad at Hubris, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I took a bath with Hubris earlier to keep him warm, of course. Yeah. He just, I don't know. He seems interested, but he's not. I mean, he didn't even make a move or anything.
It could have, maybe he's a nice guy.
I mean, maybe. Anyways, in Wolf's letter, he was very clear about his intentions and how he felt about me. And I'm going to hand you the letter.
Nope. Okay.
Hold on. I will send it to you. I'm not sure how to take it because when he was alive, he never mentioned anything, and he didn't even how I am, and never really seemed to respond to my advances at all, so I don't really know.
Yeah, you did. You did flirt him up sometimes.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I do.
I'm gonna read this letter.
All right.
Shall I read it out loud?
If you'd like.
Ghost, you need to know that no matter what happens, I need you to come back. I couldn't take losing you, so if you were ever think there is no way back, I will be there to be the light in the darkness. And even if I died 1,000 times, I would find my way to you if it was needed every time. Losing my family hurt me so deeply that I never wanted to get close to anyone again. Then I met you and fell in love with the way you tilt your head and take in the aroma on the wind when we're up on the roof or outside the city walls. I want to be the reason your eyes light up like they do when it snows. And now the only family I want to be part of is one which involves you. That's pretty heartfelt.
Yeah.
And he hands it back with a little verklempt.
Yeah. This was a translation of the note that Ghost, because the original note was in Celestial. But yes, I feel like, did you see anything like that?
No, well, sometimes him and Hubris were like, you got to do this and you got to do that. But it was mostly Wolf dogging Hubris, trying to get him to do stuff.
And yet he never did. I don't know. I think men are very simple, but at the same time, they tend to be very complex. Maybe they're just afraid of something. Me?
That'd be a good thing to be afraid of.
Yes, I know.
Kronk smiles, but he doesn't think.
Are you afraid of me, Kronk?
Sometimes. Just when I'm starting to fall asleep.
What does that mean?
Well, the time before you were with me.
Oh, right.
So,
yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I am sorry. And I try very hard not to hurt you in any way. Well, I think I might go for a walk tonight. And she kind of like, it's very hard for her to lie to you. So she's kind of just like.
That's why he growled, because he's like, you just said.
I might go out and visit a friend.
How about me and my sneaky boots get you there and get you home?
What if I don't want to come home tonight?
Well, then I'll give you X amount of time, watch the moon, and then I'll go home.
You'll stay outside in the cold.
I don't feel cold.
I guess that's true. Well, let's get you a snack before we leave, though. And she's going to get on her PJs and her robe, and then she's going to put on her jacket.
Okay.
There were brownies downstairs.
Ooh. And then we're going to clip-clop. It's just my footprints or footsteps on the hall outside.
All right.
Now,
are you trying to hide your exit from Hubris, who lives in the room by the exit hall, or are you just freely going?
I'm just going.
All right. Cool.
Matching PJs. I don't have a robe, but I have purple elf boots. So.
You should probably put on something. I know that you don't feel the cold, but it worries me when you're outside.
Right.
Shoulders agape.
All right. He grabs his cloak.
All right. Thank you. You know I worry about you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Down for brownies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So you guys eat the brownies, and then I'm assuming you're heading over to Coralon's Crown.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So you head over there. You head inside of the store. Even though it's typically locked up to prevent people from entering inside, Zaraj had the wherewithal to make sure that it remained unlocked because he is a pretty observant person. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anybody had come into the shop who wasn't supposed to be there, you would be able to recognize that a little bit easier. So yeah, you make your way in. You head up to his room. Just knock on the door.
No, I'm just gonna open the door.
All right.
And I'm just gonna. What's he doing?
At this point, you see that he has a what looks to be a training sword in front of him. And he is shirtless, looking like he has just gotten done doing some training. He's very sweaty. Not overly sweaty, but he has a decent bit of perspiration on him.
Right, he's glistening,
his hair
if you
that is
will.
normally pulled back in a ponytail is very much like free-flowing down his back and kind of getting into his face a little bit.
Okay. And she's just gonna walk in. I'm sorry to interrupt.
And he just continues swinging the sword for a while and just says,
Not interrupting anything. Now, if you wouldn't mind, close the door.
And she does so. I just had one last question for you.
he sets it, just kind of sets his sword down by his side.
And that is...
And she takes off the jacket and she says, with gauntlets or without?
He just smiles, and you see this big toothy grin, and then that is where we will fade to black on that scene. Hubris, what are you doing for the evening?
Well, he was going to go to Coralon's Crown, but...
He still could, if
Still
you would
could.
like.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask Siraj something tonight.
Okay. We can say that you can head over before Ghost ends up doing it. Just because she ended up having her bottle of wine girls talk party with Kronk, so you would know that she is currently in talks with him.
Yeah. He swapped out his, white clothing for his normal clothes and the bladed boots on.
Okay. Yeah, and you
It's warmer.
make your way over, and when you knock on the door, you see that Ziraj is currently in the middle of the same kind of workout, except that this time he has a glaive instead of the sword that he will be wielding when Ghost comes in.
God damn. What? I'm still asking what the fuck they feed you.
They don't feed me anything. I feed myself.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Remember that, I wouldn't want to say favor, but that thing you said that you could do?
Yeah?
48 hours, Zod and Zord.
Bring him here?
Fight pit inside of the Spirits and Spirits.
Sounds good to me. I don't know if Spirits and Spirits will be the best location, though, considering what's just happened earlier.
True, but I don't want to mess up such a pretty place.
We got lots of safe houses. You got a house, right?
That used to.
Still there, I think.
Sure. My old pad then. If you could find the arcane focus, please, that'd be cool. And the horn too.
I'll be sure to do so. Now you know what this is gonna cost you, right?
Well, the first part was, I don't want to say owed to me, but it was promised to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what do the other two cost?
A favor. I'll figure that part out later. But if I need something done, you're gonna be my go-to man.
Fuck it.
And
He
he
crosses over.
puts his hand out for you.
48 hours?
48 hours, my old place.
You have my word.
See you there.
He just kind of nods his head towards you and then waves you out of the room. Okay. So then you go back to your room. Are you just heading straight to bed?
He'll probably be in his chair thinking for a bit and then go to bed.
Okay. Yeah, so then your guys, Kronk, you end up waiting for the predetermined phase of the moon, and Ghost has not come back out. You've heard that there was a little bit of a ruckus kind of happening in the room directly above you, but it didn't sound like she was in danger at all. And you've been with Ghost for a while now as her traveling companion. You you know.
Yeah, probably have like a crazy safe word kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
so, Kronk starting to be of his own mind, just conks out in the alleyway.
Okay.
He doesn't want to go back to bed by himself. Yeah, he just wraps up in his cloak and becomes like a stone or a barrel in the alleyway, kind of thing.
All right. And as you are making yourself comfortable and kind of finding a spot to lean up against the wall, you can see that the snowfall that had kind of picked up the day before is now getting even more so. And you can see that the streets that had kind of had these blurries and gusts move the snow out of the way. So that way it was just tastefully in the corners of buildings resting up against the streets, is now beginning to form a thicker layer. And as you fall asleep, you can actually feel it beginning to rest on your shoulders and on your personage as well. So then we will go into the morning. Ghost, are you going to be a early riser or late riser?
GTFO.
Okay. Yeah, so you wake up, and when you are you just like quick walk of shame back to your house, or is this like
there is no shame in this walk, but
Oh.
she's gonna like move his arm and like
when you wake up, he is actually not there.
oh, perfect. Okay, good. Then no worries. Boots up, jacket, start to walk back.
Okay. Yeah, and so you open up the door first thing in the morning, and the door swings open, and where normally it would swing a little bit wider, it has a steady stopping point. And when you look down, you can see that some snow has actually shifted off Kronk, who seems to have just sat in the alleyway all evening.
Kronk. She's gonna kind of shake him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you fall asleep?
Mm-hmm. Arms
buddy.
like over your head.
A bunch of snow is just falling
Yeah.
off of him.
And then
She's
so
gonna-
he'll
Yeah.
dog shake it off the cloak.
But
And he's not stiff or sore or
Yeah.
even cold. So unless it was magical cold
Nope.
snow. Okay, yeah. Then he just stands up and, jammies on, cape open, and then he looks at Ghost and then covers his jammies up in his cloak. And then
I just want your shoulders covered, all right? You can flaunt. I'm just saying. I worry. Shall we?
Mhm.
What do you want for breakfast as we walk back?
Maybe there's a brownie there too left.
Maybe eggs for breakfast, Kronk.
All right.
All right. So, Kronk, you are currently in these very wet clothes. Are you going to get changed at all before heading back downstairs?
Yeah. I'll go put on like my workout tunic and breeches.
Okay.
They're that sort of anime medieval version of sweat clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're sleeveless, and then the pants are like a rope belt, but they're all gray, and they're cinched around like just below his calves, so his feet are sticking out.
Oh,
The medieval version of sweat clothes, workout
sure.
clothes.
All right.
So-
And Hubris, when you wake up and open up the door, you actually see Kronk passing in front of you. His wearing completely soaked jammies, as well as a cloak that looks like it has still quite a bit of snow on it.
Oh, you're muted.
Oops. Kronk, did you not... Where were you?
Outside,
Doing what?
sleeping.
In...
Sorry. Wake myself up some. Okay, sleeping.
Why were you sleeping outside? And Hubris is just like snapping and like drying him and cleaning him.
Hey, that's a good trick. And I turn around, or do the rotisserie thing.
Yeah. So, why were you outside sleeping in the snow?
Happens sometimes.
In my history of knowing you, this has never happened.
Ooh, has it?
That Kronk has wandered outside of the house to sleep in the snow.
Because normally you sleep with
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, Ghost, have you had any of these night trips since we've been with these guys?
No.
Okay, then no, I guess not.
So you're gonna continue?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
respond.
what did you say?
I
guess
asked,
missed
like,
it.
why were you sleeping outside?
Who?
I did not swear you to secrecy.
I know. At the same time, I'm trying to be of my own mind. I'm gonna throw a die. He cracks a little and says, "I was afraid Ghost would get caught up with the cops or the constables."
Was she on a hunt or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, that's... He just shakes his head.
And then Ghost walks up the stairs.
I was gonna say, remember, he's
Morning.
in jammies and elf boots.
Hubris has to shield his eyes. Oh, you're glowing. What?
Are you getting changed, Kronk?
Mm-hmm.
Morning.
Thing?
I'm in my jacket and my boots. You can't see anything.
Yeah. Who were you hunting last night?
Sorry?
Kronk said you guys were out last night. You fell
We
asleep
were
in the
out
snow.
last night.
And I asked him if you were hunting. He said yes.
Oh.
Now, technically, you said hunting or something,
something.
and so
Or
that's why
something.
Kronk said, mm-hmm. But you move on. Sorry, I'll mute.
He said I was hunting.
Or something.
Yes.
Oh. All right. Glad you made it back home okay.
Of course. Breakfast?
Breakfast. Big guy, can you help me shovel outside after?
I lumped off into the get changed. Are you just kind of yelling down the hall?
Yeah, he'll just yell down the hall.
Yeah, I love shoveling.
Cool, because I hate it.
Okay.
I'll go get changed.
Okay.
I like the idea of shoveling like this.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's just gonna stand and start snapping while Kronk has like the huge ass shovel.
It's just more like a table. I just grab a table and put it on the ground and just sort of
Start pushing you.
Mhm. All right. So yeah, by the time that you guys finish changing and then get back out downstairs, Torvash has actually already made you all breakfast. And as you are all kind of exiting out at the top of your stairwell and going outside, you can actually start hearing, or not hearing, but kind of smelling these wonderful breakfast smells. It seems like there were fried potatoes, eggs. What else is in their breakfast menu, Torvash?
So pancakes, waffles, French toast, eggs, bacon, sausages, mushrooms, smoked. But eggs are done like fried, scrambled, poached. Like he's just cleaned out the whole kitchen because he's like, well,
So, where are Ghost and my breakfast? Because I'm pretty sure this could feed Kronk by himself.
you're gonna need more food.
Ghost is gonna go up and give Torvash a kiss on the cheek and, oh my, this looks amazing. You can stay. You can stay as long as you want. And then she's gonna take some bacon.
I mean, as long as you don't shut a shade any of us.
So I rolled a nat 1 for my survival, so that food's probably cold as shit right now.
Doesn't
Hubris
matter.
doesn't care. He's just like, snap.
Yeah. Hubris's prestidigitation can warm up the food
I'm
to.
gonna say because you only have so much cooking space, and I've cooked a lot.
Wow.
It's fine. It's like a circus family.
So what's on the docket for today?
You and I have to get back to Lady Gralhund about our yes/no, and I have been thinking a bit about it.
Yes.
Right. Yes. What is your decision?
So, we go yes with Lady Gralhund,
Mm-hmm.
clean out the vault, and then go back to Never Ember and say, "Here's your thing. Can we get our reward?"
Mm-hmm.
And if he says you could come with us, we're just saying no, we're good with this, and we get a double payout.
True. However, I think that if he asks a stone, yes, Torvash.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Oh right, we didn't clue you guys in. So
sorry.
hey, I think I'm a noble.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. There's actually documentation and a very, very descriptive family tree. But anyway, Lady Gralhund, who we saved not one night ago, said that she was looking for Lord Never Ember's dragon hoard that he shuttled away and has a means of finding it.
Okay. Torvash will lean forward a bit more now.
Doesn't mean anything
Oh,
wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
He has it. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do it. Gotcha.
We're gonna do it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
So
a
how
shit
big
ton
is
of money,
this?
friends.
How much money?
How much money?
The overall estimated worth of the embezzled coinage is 500,000 gold pieces.
And I think we were promised something like, I think that's negotiable, right?
Yep.
Right now? Negotiable.
So it's a big question. How are you going to carry that much money?
Oh, it's easy. We're in D&D 5e. Encumbrance rules for coins doesn't matter.
You say that.
You have two people who have 18 strength. We can figure something out.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's
Oh, he's got
right.
20
It's
now.
not supposed. So, we'll go speak with her, and then we need to go hunting. Yes.
Right, for the split lip guy. Also, hey, 2 nights. Are you free? He says to Ghost.
Am I free?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What? In terms of what?
Bit of a surprise.
In 2 nights?
In 2 nights.
Oh. Let me check my calendar. Yes. Unless we're doing something like.
Taking that half-orc's head,
Ooh, yes.
Ooh,
or
maybe.
finding the stone, or
Let's
Yeah,
clear
that's
2
all.
nights out. I have a reservation.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You guys are all weird.
What do you mean?
Within a day, you've been arrested by the lady who's apparently your family member. Your whole bar's been taken. And now
Yeah.
apparently you know where this hidden treasure is. Like,
But we don't know where the hidden treasure is. We know a thing that might know where the hidden treasure is. Also, we can ask it a question and it'll answer, but we don't know the specifics, like if it's cursed or not. So that's gonna be fun
Cursed.
why don't you ask it if it's cursed?
because then the curse activates and then we get cursed and we found out anyway.
that's
How
a good point.
Do you remove the curse if this object's cursed? See, look, there's questions you can ask.
Well, I'm glad we're bringing a lawyer.
We're gonna
The
need
whole
one.
time, Kronk had like put down a flapjack and then like 4 eggs and then bacon and then another flapjack, and he
Are you
picked it up
making like a mega egg McMuffin?
yeah, like a big
Ooh.
breakfast sandwich, and he just you know.
Someone should also tell
Kronk.
your cook
Mm.
he's got to
And he
restart.
reaches over, pulls out some maple syrup and drizzles it on the top.
Mm. He holds it upright.
in
so
his household.
So, Avash, I know that you kind of came into this group as an outsider. Would you be interested in joining us on this quest? We could always use a man of your caliber.
I'll hang around until I get bored.
All right.
As long as we're not going. You don't get arrested every day, do you?
I've only
Debatable.
been arrested once.
Twice within 2 months?
No, that doesn't mean I haven't done things that I should have been arrested for. I've done a lot of things that I should have been arrested for, but
Well,
I've only
you
ever
know,
been caught once.
I've always lived by the saying, be good if not good at it. So,
I think you'll fit in.
Syrup me.
So, just cast mage hand so that it's just like tilt.
That's the sandwich under it.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, so the plan is currently to finish up breakfast and then go see Lady Gralhund.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you guys finish your breakfast meal, no problem. And then yes?
I'm just gonna grab also a bottle of brandy off the shelf.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys make all of your necessary preparations and then begin heading over to Lady Gralhund's. Yes?
Should we write a sign on the door that says that we will be closed tonight?
Yeah, let's do that.
It is writ.
Okay. It is written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Due
So,
to insufficient staffing.
all right, so anybody else?
Hubris, I was going to ask Hubris if he could slightly change my appearance in case Mr. Cranky Neighbor is looking for me. Because I kind of charmed him.
What do you want? Like,
Something that doesn't look similar to this.
I turn
So
his
it was-
hair red.
No, make him look like Wolf.
Ooh, poor taste.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, Kronk.
No, the guy knows the Wolf lives here. He wouldn't know it's him.
I mean, at that point, he's just grab Wolf's coat and throw the hood on.
Hold on a second, I can do it to myself. I leveled up and scored prestidigitation. Fuck yeah. I'm just going to change my appearance to look like a mix between Prune and some guard I spoke to.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, prestidigitation isn't a minor illusion spell. It's just like color changes. But we can say that you
Yeah.
have like very
Fine.
like pale.
Okay, I'll just change my eye colors to be brown and my hair to be brown. I'll just be boring.
Yep.
Um,
Boring is safe. And so yeah, you change your looks, and as you guys are actually exiting out of Troll Skull Alley, you can see that Froon like is like back to peeling the blind down and is just looking at the lot of you and just stank face.
Just gonna wave.
As we were getting ready, I guess I would ask Ghost. I'd be like, how many weapons? But I mean, big time. 1, 3, all of them.
I think we should bring at least your sword and your chain.
All right. Okay.
But keep them sheathed.
I keep my ball and chain under my cloak, like kind of like she puts her claws in back. That's where I've got my ball and chain kind of hanging off the backside of my my basically weight belt, kidney belt.
Yep.
And then the sword up top.
Okay. So yeah, you guys all end up securing and sequestering your gear away, and make your way through the North Ward over to the Gralhund estate. You knock at the gate once more. It is the same groundskeeper that seems to be there every day, but seeing as it is you lot, he begrudgingly opens up the door and sees you all into the actual building itself. And then once he leads you into the large it's more of a foyer. It's like just an entrance room at the base of the stairs, and you can see that up above you are the balconies where Hubris and Ghost had actually exited from earlier the day prior when you guys were talking to Lord and Lady Gralhund. The groundskeeper ends up going off and fetching the mistress for you, or fetching the lady for you, and eventually he kind of just like shuffles off, doesn't even say goodbye, and Lady Gralhund comes back and says, so you've hopefully decided to take up my offer.
Hubris smiles. Madam, let's talk business. And he produces the bottle of brandy.
Well, if it's business, it's best we go to my office. And then she begins leading you guys there. And Torvash and Kronk, when you guys walk into this room, you see hanging up this very well done, large painting of what would appear to be an orgy that is about 35 feet tall and 75 feet long. That takes up the majority of this wall.
So I just want to say in Hubris's head, that's not that in-depth family tree you were talking about, right?
Hubris smiles and winks.
Kronk takes it all in and goes, there's not enough gnomes.
There's 0, and that's precisely the way we liked it at the time. Now, you said that you were talking business.
Right. We'll take you up on the offer.
Excellent. Well, as you know, still looking for my Nimblewright. Or at least its last known location. Y'all could possibly find that. Well, it seems to have run off with something very important. As I explained yesterday.
Correct. You don't have any way of tracking your Nimblewright? It just up and vanished, correct?
I personally know. However, I know that the Temple of Inspired Hands, the Gond temple that we have here in Waterdeep, during our celebrations where we dress up in masks and parade throughout the city, they often lend out Nimblewrights to be used. And I think that maybe if you were to go there, they could possibly help you.
All right, it's a start. We'll get on it.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I look around. Nope. We'll see you in a bit then.
She just kind of nods. And then Erstal, her guard, ends up coming over and then escorting you guys back outside. And then the groundskeeper takes you the rest of the way out of the villa.
I'm just going to hand Erstal the brandy because I realized I never put it down. Just walk out.
And he takes it from you and just, thank you very much. And then begins walking back inside with it.
So, where are we off to, Hubris?
Temple of Gond, see what they know about that Nimblewright.
I wonder if we can get a look at the roof, since that's where we saw them last.
I could do that too.
As we leave, I want to make that really annoying sound in the groundskeeper's head again, like last time.
Okay.
Such a
The dude's a
dick.
dick. Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Amazing. Okay. So, yeah, you guys make your way back to the Temple of Gond, because you had actually gone there before when you had Ghost's sister in town. During your tour of the town, you had passed by the Temple of Inspired Hands, and so you decide once more to make your way back to this place. And as you do, you can see that again, there is more snow that seems to kind of just be piling up in the streets. A lot of these back alleyways now have a very nice snowdrift going into them. And you see that there are some places that are kind of in between buildings where the snow has no other place to go that are starting to pile up almost to the height that Kronk was while he had been sitting down, as it seems that it hasn't gotten warm enough to actually melt any of the snow that is coming in through the town.
I'm just gonna pop up next to Hubris and are you feeling all right today?
Yeah, I've got my warmer clothes on today, so I'll be all right.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys make your way to the temple. And upon entering inside, you can see, you can actually feel heat kind of rising up from the tiles beneath your feet. As you can see that a lot of snow is kind of melted before it can even come into the temple itself. And you see that there is a copper dragonborn woman who doesn't have shoes on. It seems like her scaly feet are just kind of resting upon the ground. And she notices the lot of you come in and just, can I help you?
Hello. We're contracted by Lady Gralhund. We are looking for her Nimblewright that seemed to have disappeared within the last couple of days.
Oh, that's, Gralhund, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and kind of like a dark look comes over the priestess's face. She says, "Is she all right? Is her family okay?"
Oh, yes. She's a bit shaken up, but, coping.
Justifiably so, yes. Well, I don't remember her having a Nimblewright. But well, at least she didn't commission it from us. But if it's gone missing,
When we were in town the other day, we did see one on the roof of your temple.
or did you?
Yes. So I'm wondering if perhaps he wandered his way back there. Could we go look?
Well, I think that we should have ourselves a conversation. Now follow me.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
And you kind of follow her, and you guys end up going through the workstation at large, where you can see that there are many forge clerics, as well as other acolytes to Gond that all just seem to kind of be set up working on small projects here and there. And Ghost, you actually see that one of them is in the process of making what looks to be a pipe that is much in the same style that your dragon head pipe that you had received from Corey is. And you guys proceed up a flight of stairs until eventually you reach a landing that has a large wooden door in front of it. And Valletta, the Dragonborn priest, ends up trying the door handle, and it doesn't seem to budge. And then she knocks on the door a few times and just says, Nim, open the door. I have some people here to talk to you about something. And you guys don't really hear much of anything, but then you can hear kind of heavier footfalls. And then a few unlocking sounds. And the door eventually kind of, you see the door handle twist, and it pulls in with a low... And you can see in front of you that there looks to be a mechanical humanoid. That is comprised primarily out of wood and other thin metals, that is wearing a large red hat and what looks to be red vestments over the front. And it seems to look at the group of you, and then it kind of brings its head down, and then opens up the door and lets you guys in.
Step in.
I say, hey, is that the guy?
No.
No. Nim is a little bit of an anomaly, I would say. He seems to, even though he's a Nimblewright, who we're able to usually control through magical means, it seems he's gained a little bit of sentience. And, well, Gond be praised. It's not every day that a creature like this comes into existence. Now, Nim, have you been working on anything? And the mechanical creature just kind of like puts its head low, and then kind of raises it up a little bit, brings up a hand, and then you hear it clomp off. mechanical minds making mechanical contraptions. Sometimes things... sometimes good inventions, sometimes inventions that we need to make sure don't really see the light of day.
When you
There's a story I've heard about this. It's called Terminator. Did not end out well.
I'm not sure I'm familiar. Is that a Mummer's play?
Oh, there was something about a giant net in the sky.
Yeah,
Oh, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah.
See a little
Similar,
robot friend?
similar. Less fey creatures.
Does your robot speak any languages?
He does. He understands Common, but he can't speak it.
Can we speak anything?
No.
Now, DM, I'm asking this because as long as a creature can understand at least one language, I can talk to it in my mind and have it talk back to me.
Yeah.
Correct? So,
And eventually the creature actually comes back over to you guys, and he has several things kind of cradled into his hands.
I'm gonna
So-
pick up some of them.
Okay, just start looking at
One.
him, and then Torvash.
we could just have me translate. Okay, you translate his side and I don't repeat you.
Okay.
So we can actually speak.
Yep.
All right.
So we'll just pretend
Torvash is going to be relaying all of the
Yeah.
information he will be
that's the
receiving.
word I was
He's
trying
the
to
interpreter.
portray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interpreter.
Ask him if he. Well, I guess I could speak to him directly. Nim, is that your name?
Yes.
Is that the name that you were given or the name that you chose?
Given. He's not gonna have that voice. Fuck
That's
that.
fine.
Please don't do that to yourself.
Nope, that would hurt.
Would you like to be called something different?
Nim is fine.
How long have you been alive?
What is alive?
How long have you been able to think for yourself?
36 10 days.
300.
And in that time, how many things have you made?
47.
And have you made anything that looks like you?
There's silence.
Have you made anything that thinks like you?
I was lonely.
I see. Is this what we saw on the roof? Does it
Maybe.
live up there?
Which roof?
The roof of this building.
That was me.
Oh. Oh my god, it's Quasimodo, guys.
And
I just watched that.
Dun, dun. Oh,
What do you want out of life?
that's a good question.
More?
More what?
Freedom? Tools? Metal? Brothers? More.
How many brothers do you have?
One?
Do you know where he is?
No.
Inside the fuck out of this
Yep.
robot.
Yeah. His poker face is pretty good.
Seeing as it doesn't move.
what does this do? And he holds like.
Got a
Red.
21.
Okay.
Ooh.
So this robot seems to be telling the truth.
What
I wish I
happened to
was
you?
wolf for a second. He has such better insight than me.
What happened to your brother? Where did he go?
He ran away.
from you.
Scared
Of you?
of everything.
I see.
Does your brother also think like you, have that sort of independence from the guild?
And at that, what's her fuck? Valletta just kind of like crosses her arms and looks at Nim. Just, were you making more that looked like you? Just, yes.
Now, he is a living creature, and living creatures want to create more of themselves. It's a perfectly natural thing for him to want, she says to the lady.
It's hard to be lonely.
He just kind of like looks back.
Nim, I'm sorry that your friend left you, and I'm sorry that you have been kept here. Have you left this room recently?
It nods.
Have you left this building recently?
9-10 days ago. It was for the festival.
Right, right. Did you have fun at the festival?
What is fun?
What did you feel at the festival?
And at that, there's a moment of pause. What is feeling?
You feel lonely, right? That's a feeling.
The need for more of you, that is a feeling. That's the feeling of being lonely.
The want to be around more people.
iRobot, that's anger feeling shit soon, because
The festival made me lonely.
Because you wanted to be around people again.
Or did you want more of you?
I have one brother. I want more.
Right. What did your brother look like? Exactly.
And it just kind of like bows its head a little bit. Coyly, as much as a robot can, looks up at Valletta, and then you see it wander into the back, and you hear that there is like bits of metal that just kind of seem to be moving around, almost like somebody clearing a work desk, until eventually Nim comes back over with a large sheet of blueprint paper and unfurls it, and you can see that there is a replica that of a diagram of a Nimblewright. And it says, it looked like this.
Huh.
Is it distinctive from the other ones?
It looks identical to the Nimblewright that stands before you, albeit without the vestments as well as the hat. Those seem to be missing.
Okay. Well.
what color?
They are golden color.
Golden.
And
Is
does
he
it have-
golden?
Yes.
Well,
Does it have any unique, like, kind of items on it?
No.
Different than
wasn't there the day there was the explosion in front of our place? I think I remember someone saying there was a Nimblewright there.
Yes, there was.
My brother
you-
left 10 days ago.
And that would fall within the line of the explosion.
Yeah.
If we find your brother, what should we tell him to make him come home?
I don't know.
Did he miss you?
I don't know. But this, and he takes the thing that was in Hubris's hand that you had kind of been looking over, which was kind of a tube that looked like it had a little umbrella off of the top, and then holds it up. This will help you find him.
What does it do?
And you see that he pulls a little grip that was on the bottom, and as he does, the umbrella begins to kind of rotate, and then you see that all of the folds of the umbrella actually shoot up and point directly towards Nim.
Huh. It's like a metal detector.
You are very clever, Nim. Continue to be clever.
Can we borrow that, Nim?
Find my brother. It reaches out with its hand towards you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I don't have any more questions. Do you guys have any more questions?
I'm just going to ask him, is there anything he wants us to know but not the crazy cross-arm cleric lady death staring him? Because this bit I'll just keep to myself till we get away from these guys.
He just kind of shakes his head and then says, "It was nice to talk."
I'm gonna pat Nim on the arm. We'll find your brother.
All right. And that is where we'll go into our first break of the evening. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has decided to come stop by and watch as we make your heartstrings feel bad with robots, because that's always a fun. That's always a thing that happens in D&D, right? I wanted to say thank you to all of these wonderful players who put up with all my shit throughout the week, and also to all you people who are looking to join in on either a Discord server or to help support us on Patreon. You can either subscribe to our Twitch channel, possibly even using your free subscription that you get through Amazon Prime. If you didn't know that you had that already, you can use it for us. We are also on Podbean, so you can go to indooradventures.podbean.com and you can find us there, or at anchor.fm Indoor Adventures, and you can find us there as well. But we will try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's going to be to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, bring them all back, and we will do our best to keep bringing you an awesome playthrough of Waterdeep. All right, we'll see you guys soon. All right.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We have just gotten back from our break, so let's pick up where we last left off, which is in the Tower of the Temple of Inspired Hands, talking to Nim, the Nimblewright, while Valletta, the head cleric, or at least the head cleric who is currently on duty, has escorted you up, and she seems very cross with Nim for a Nimblewright having created other Nimblewrights under her nose. But you guys were given a device to be able to find Nimblewrights as well.
Before we go, can I just say into everyone's head, because I don't like this dragon lady bitch. She looks really cranky, and this robot seems cool. I'm going to ask everyone if they have anything they want to ask the robot and not have Cranky Lady know about. So this will just be a very awkward silent bit where I'm just looking at everyone.
Tell him that we might be back to allow him to see more of the city.
Okay.
I know Greybeard wants it.
Yeah, I'll say, how to put it, I too know how it is to not know your people. I fight to be free. I'll help if you need it. Come to
I'm also just going to add, don't actually fight. So.
And I don't know he says that.
Yeah.
It's like, don't actually fight.
You add the lawyer addendums to be like, don't. That's a crime. I cannot advise you. But yeah, so Valletta actually picks up a lot of Nim's creations, as well as the blueprints that he had kind of set out, including the one of how to make other Nimblewrights, and she just kind of collects them all and says he may be very, very bright and very creative, but he is also grounded for the next little while. So this is something that we cannot possibly have again, isn't that right, Nim? And the Nim just kind of like puts his head down and then just sort of steps back into the alcove that he's in, his room. And then she shuts the door and you hear several locks being put back on as Nim locks himself in his room. And you guys are then led back out of the house, or back out of the Temple of Inspired Hands. And as you are on your way out, Valletta says, if you find this escaped Nimblewright and you bring it back to us, I can give you some of the inventions that we've been working on.
Right.
They may not be commercially available yet, so you'd be the first ones on the street with them.
Do we get to choose?
Yes. I'll have a selection of ones that our inventors are willing to part with. Most of them have already begun working on other prototypes, so the beginning ones they usually just discard or repurpose.
Would anyone be able to create a Nimblewright that without you or Nim?
Well, if they had the blueprints that Nim had, they might be able to figure something out, put something together. There's quite a few intelligent artificers throughout Waterdeep that, well, they would pay us a fortune to get their hands on these kinds of blueprints, as normally you can only get these kinds of creatures in Lantan, across the Trackless Sea.
Right. Did the lady tell us where she got him from?
She had said that she had picked him up a year ago on a family trip when they had gone to Lantan.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and for introducing us to Nim.
It's no problem. He doesn't get very many visitors. But
Can we come back to see him?
If you would like. Just need to make sure he's not making any replicas.
Of course.
It just doesn't feel right. There's something foreboding about it. A wizard named Asimov, I think, wrote something about this.
Well, thank you for your time, ma'am.
That's no problem. And again, if you need any more help locating this creature, feel free to reach out. And she bows and bids you good day as you guys make your way back out onto the street.
Hubris is playing with the device, seeing like how it functions, just like gripping the grip, extending the umbrella, seeing where it spins.
Yeah. So the detector has rules with it, because everything has rules with it.
While you're looking at that, Hubris turns to Ghost and goes, "Hey, darling, did you get a good enough look at those schematics?"
Did I? I can try.
Make a history check.
I will inspire you because I want more robots.
Mecha deep robot heist.
I'd be so down.
History
Yeah.
is 18.
Okay.
With my inspiration.
Sounds good. You have a faint memory. There was a lot of small parts and pieces that had been drawn into the blueprint that you can't really recall, but for the most part you remember the humanoid structure.
I will start to draw them.
Okay, make a performance check.
Fine, I will inspire again. I want more fucking robots. You can do this. It's not a boss, remember.
I know I can do this.
Boss.
Why do you keep telling me this?
I mean, for the no, that was
11.
inside.
Okay. So your artistic skill does not lend you the same kind of inspiration that you had found previously when drawing out floor plans. It seems like robot plans and house plans are very different creatures entirely. But yeah, you draw what you think is a pretty good representation. You know that there are some spots where you're like, I couldn't, even if I tried.
I don't know all the things, but this
fine.
is generally.
We just need the basic frame.
I hand it to Hubris.
We're gonna spring the bastard, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
I look at Torvash. No, we're not.
I'm down for it. I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure it certainly has springs on him as well.
Yes, we did.
So my idea is,
Well, where do we go next? What is the dude? What's the thing telling you?
It's probably pointing straight back to him because we're not that far.
Yep.
I'm assuming it works similar to locate object.
Uh,
It'll just give you the direction it's in when you're closer to that one than any others.
It will try and like hone in on the location of the thing that it is currently set for, which is the Nimblewright.
Yeah. So as long as that one's the closest one, it's always going to point to him, right?
we should start back at the bar and make our way towards where that Nimblewright was moving.
Wouldn't you want to start back at your family's estate? If that's where it left with the island.
I believe.
Are they two separate Nimblewrights, or is it the same Nimblewright?
I believe they are separate.
Yeah.
Well, they could be. It could be either two different Nimblewrights or the same Nimblewright being that one, not the brother. Because she got hers from
Somewhere else.
the island, yes.
So are we tracking two down, a sentient one and a non-sentient one?
Well, no. I think they're both sentient because Lady Gralhund and it got scared and ran away.
Oh, bitch.
Okay, this is
Right,
fucking
right.
weird. Let's just... When we find a Nimblewright, we'll ask it who it belongs to, return it, and then get the other Nimblewright that's out in the town.
Unless it's the same one, then there's only one Nimblewright that's out on the town.
Then that kills two birds with one stone.
But who are we going to give it to? Its brother or your family?
We only need the map from the Nimblewright.
So we can let it stay free.
Works for me.
You can live in the fight pit. Nobody goes down there except for us.
So we're
Kenzie
going to.
Cook.
Anyways, let's
Oh, Hollow made it out. Okay, that's nice.
Revolution.
so are we going back to our house or are we going back to the villa?
The villa's the most recent place it was, so
And also the villa's
I
probably
personally would
closer.
start there.
I concur.
Alright.
And I really want to see Mum make the groundskeeper.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way over to Gralhund Villa and start scanning around it with your Nimblewright detector. Are you like going into the house and scanning around, or what's the general plan? Also,
We'll be...
Hubris, you know, from just like giving it general stress tests as you were walking away from the House of Inspired Hands, that it seems like there is about a 500-foot range on this device for when it will actually continue to pick up the signal of a Nimblewright.
Okay. So once we're 500 feet away from the temple, it just like...
Yeah, it just reverts back, and when you squeeze it, nothing seems to happen.
Okay. We make it to Gralhund's Manor. We're just going to walk around the outside because we know it ran out.
Okay.
I'm also going to try and check to see if I can find any tracks of the split lip dude.
Okay. Yeah, so make a perception check with disadvantage as the snow cover is kind of filling in any tracks that might have been made. And
Would
they
it be
live in a pretty
survival?
populated area.
Would it be survival or
This is
Perception.
just perception to see if you can even find a semblance of where it might have been.
That is a 21 at disadvantage.
Holy shit. Yeah, so you begin.
Got my mojo back, bitches.
Yeah, so you start looking around, trying to find any kind of trail, possibly from several days ago. And you do see that there are what look to be heavier footfalls that lead from that back area into the main thoroughfare, and then it seems like they just kind of disappear, just get lost in the feet of the masses.
Okay.
And your Nimblewright detector doesn't go off at all.
Well, if this is a hunch, then we should start in the direction we know it went and go from there. Probably doing a grid pattern would be best.
Well, you're the huntress.
If only we had a druid friend who could fly and squeeze it down and cover the city faster.
But crows don't have grip strength too. I'm not gonna get into the semantics.
But if they tied it between two birds,
They each grab the husk.
Follows.
What?
Alright.
Underneath the dorsal guiding feathers?
All right. So, are you guys are patrolling through Waterdeep in a grid-like fashion. You know that this is roughly around noon at this point.
I knew.
It's close to midday. And you guys just kind of begin searching, looking around. How about this? What ward would you like to check? Because there is the market ward, there is the dock ward, there is the trade ward, and the southern ward, as well as the castle ward.
Which way was it heading?
It was heading south, so you guys were in the north ward, in the in the top easternmost corner. So you would know if it was heading down, it would probably have gone into the trade ward.
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
We'll go there.
Yeah, so you scan around and it takes you a couple hours as well, and you just don't get a good read for anywhere that you can possibly find. There's no sign of Nimblewright going through.
Any taverns nearby so we could try and gather gossip of people seeing a robot?
Make a persuasion check. As you just go around and generally ask people if they've seen a robot person not in the festival.
24.
Yeah, so with your 24, you end up hearing that one of them had said that they had seen one kind of heading towards the southern ward about 2 days ago at this point. It was kind of later in the evening.
All right.
I know a guard down there. It's
You
a
do?
she, as I found out the other day when I go, and he's a pretty good guy.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let us go. Where would a Nimblewright hide? That's the thing. This is a large city, and it's not like it's not going to be seen.
Above ground.
Would
Oh.
it be above ground?
Everyone knows the best place to do things is underground.
I'm not
Ready?
ready for another
Everybody's-
foray underground.
Every time someone's seen them, it's been on a roof.
That's true.
Why don't we head to the southern thing and see if anyone's seen one more recently in a smaller area?
Continue south.
South it is.
All right. So you guys head south along the high road until eventually you kind of make your way into the southern ward, and it's a very nostalgic feeling coming back here, as these were the streets that you guys kind of used to roam before you ended up going into the sewer the first time, before you got involved in the events from the Yawning Portal and took your job from Volo. You see the old crossways where you guys used to meet up first thing in the morning to kind of go about your slightly crooked but with a hint of justice deeds as you would steal from whoever needed stealing from at the time. And as you continue on, it is after about 25 minutes or so of investigating around here that the detector actually begins to slightly go off. And it's just a faint little boop. When you look down, you can see that there is a light that just kind of shines as the umbrella begins to spin.
If I point it in a given direction, does it like intensify, or
Yes.
do I have to walk?
Yes, so it's very much a hot and cold kind of game that you have to play. Yes.
Are we near the temple at all?
No, you are not.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, the
On this
temple.
side of the
Oh,
town.
bitch!
No, the temple is in the is actually on the western side of Waterdeep, where you guys are more closer to the eastern side, and southeastern compared to the northwestern.
So the complete opposite side of town.
Almost. This is
That guy
actually
wanted to get the fuck away from that, didn't he? He's like, I'm out.
yeah, and it is actually it again is weird because like you pass by Hubris's old place while you have your detector out, and it seems to be getting stronger and stronger until eventually, Ghost, you recognize this alleyway. And you can see that there is what looks to be a hunched form in a very large cloak that is just kind of sitting, leaning up against the wall, much in the same way a figure like you knew used to do.
I'm gonna smell the air. Does this smell familiar?
It does not. And Hubris, as you kind of like bring out this detector and it points towards this figure that's sitting on the ground, you actually see this figure stand up and brandish a rapier out towards the lot of you.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Putting it
Is
away.
it a robot?
It does look like a robot wearing this very, very tattered cloak.
Okay, I guess we'll do the same thing as last time where I'll translate.
It's all right. We're friends of Nim.
And it just begins to back up down the alleyway, just keeping this rapier out.
Can I try and persuade it to be chill?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, 24.
Okay. Yeah, so with your 24, are you like mentally reaching out to it or are you verbally? Okay. Yeah, so as you reach out to it, you can see that there are bits and pieces of it that look dented or slightly broken. There's some trash that's kind of like caught into some of its armaments underneath the cloak. And it just keeps the rapier pointing towards you.
Hubris is gonna just hands up, slowly start walking forward.
No.
What?
Do you know the Gralhunds?
It nods.
Oh.
We come from the villa. Your lady is worried about you.
And it just at that you see it actually like point the rapier towards you a little bit more as it begins to like steadily advance towards you.
We're not here to hurt you or take you back if you don't want to go. Right? We're not here to take him back, right?
No, we just need to know where the map is, honestly.
We know that the events that happened 2 nights ago were very scary. And she just wanted to make sure you're okay. And she wanted the map that you took. We're not going to take you back if you don't want to go. But we do need the map.
Why don't we take him to Nim?
Up to him where he wants to go.
Right.
We can remove the trash from you. Try and fix it up a bit. I know mending. Don't
We
know if
did-
that helps.
Joint effort.
Prestidigitate and mend this motherfucker back to good.
The whole time, Kronk's ready to disarm him, and
Put the ball and chain down.
nope, I'm not. I just have a hand behind my back. That's all.
Yeah, and you guys have kind of walked into the alleyway at this point. And it still just like keeps the rapier brandished. Torvash, are you speaking into its consciousness?
I thought I'd been relaying
Okay.
like last time.
Yeah, it hasn't said anything at that point, but when you say that you could take it back to the Gralhunds, it says very clearly no.
Okay. I'm also going to say into everyone else's head, probably shouldn't tell it. Hubris is a relative.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Is
if you want, just give us the map and we'll leave. We'll forget that we saw you here.
And it just looks and just, what will I do?
What do you want?
And it pauses.
Talking to Kronk again.
More?
More
Let me
like-
guess. More friends? More of you? More brothers?
More freedom?
We can get you out of the city.
can get you out of the city.
Now, you are made of metal. And that, against the elements, I'm sure you know, isn't always safe.
Where will
But-
I go?
Well, anywhere you want. Do you want to go back to the island?
And it kind of like tilts its head at you.
Where you're from?
The temple.
Oh.
This is Nim's
Bitch
friend.
lied to us. Bitch.
No.
Do you want to go back to the temple?
No.
Well,
Nim wants to see you again. He misses you.
No.
you don't want to see him?
No. Just
Did
shakes
Did
its
Nim
head.
hurt you? Yeah, we did not insight. Did we
No.
insight check your family member, Hubris?
Nope.
We just took her at our word.
Well, you know what? How do you feel about the cold? Does it hurt you?
Shakes its head.
I know somewhere you can go in the north with someone who's very nice, who will take care of you.
It just kind of looks at you. And like its rapier is just kind of like plunked down at its side at this point. They will fix me.
We could
Oh.
try fixing
We could figure.
Now?
We can repair you.
beforehand.
She can fix you. You might need to help her, but she has ways.
And then it just kind of nods.
All right. How do you move through the city?
And it just kind of like picks up one of its legs and sets it back down.
Without people seeing you.
And it grabs the cloak that it's wearing, this very tattered, dark. It looks like it could have been either green or brown at some point, but it's just kind of faded away to that medium tan. And then it just puts that over its head, and then just stands there, and it looks like just a cloaked figure wearing a mask.
Fair enough.
I could give him a ride. Under my cloak. Just look like a pack.
It's true. Now, I know it's not very easy to trust us. You don't know us. You just met us. So, is there something that we can do to show you that we are telling the truth? How about we fix your cloak?
Can you fix me?
We can try.
No pressure, Torvash. No pressure. Okay. I'm going to turn to Kronk. This is not a puzzle.
Gotcha.
If something doesn't fit, don't force it.
It's all good.
I do have a few tools back at home. If magic won't do.
And it doesn't know what to say in response at all.
So how about this? You hold on to the map. We'll take you back to our house where you will have free reign. You can leave if you'd like. And when we fix you, you can give us the map.
Just nods.
All right. Do you want to walk back with us, or would you rather be carried by Kronk?
I will walk.
All right. Stay close to us.
Yeah, and
Stay
it just
behind us.
very much is like right up on the backside of Kronk. Has no concept of personal space.
Why don't you put it in the middle?
Yeah.
And we will.
And I'll offer it my cloak.
Trade
You know,
him.
he'd have to blanket it up around his shoulders, but I mean, it would cover him completely. So,
All right. Yeah, so then you guys eventually make your way back to Spirits and Spirits with Nim's counterpart just accompanying you the entire way.
So what do we call you?
Please be Arnold.
Him?
he's
Do you
the
have a
wizard.
name?
Jimmy got it.
And it says, Nim called me Nim.
Can we
Starting to
call
think
you-
Nim's not the brightest person in the world.
Because it's Nimblewright.
Oh, yes, Hubris. Come on.
Past tense, it's Nimblewright.
I'm gonna punch you.
We haven't had a player-to-player punch in a while. So
Wow.
He'll crit again.
Ah!
You try.
Swear to God, I'll do it.
Cutting words. Can't
So
touch
as
this.
soon as we get back to the house, again, I'm gonna be making sure that nobody's like watching us. I
Okay.
guess like, throughout our adventure.
Yeah, no, and the people of Waterdeep are very accustomed to adventurers and their wily ways, so when they see the four of you walking through the streets looking like adventurers with this hooded figure that you kind of have with you, nobody pays you any mind.
All right, cool.
that's trouble, and we don't want any
Yep,
part
Right,
of
right.
it.
that
Like
looks not great.
That's like the perfect fucking disguise, though. Disguise yourselves as adventurers. No one will look at you twice.
Yep.
Get the guards.
Except
So as soon as we get to the house, we'll just let him walk around for a little bit if he wants to.
Yeah. And he just, you kind of like, oh, it's okay, new cat, you can wander around the home if you want.
It goes into a room.
And Nim too begins to just kind of meander about your house, and you can hear doors shutting and then closing as you guys just kind of stand downstairs unless you're following it around.
We'll go upstairs.
Okay.
I'm going inside.
I'm going to follow it. Try and work out how to fix this thing.
Yeah. Make an Arcana check.
Oh, shit.
Because we roll dice on
Oh.
this show.
Dirty 20.
Nice. So you would know that a mending spell would actually be enough to start fixing this thing. It's made of enough small components that if you cast mending on those smaller components, that they will eventually fix themselves and make this creature right as rain.
Now I'm going to ask it if once we fix it, can we also, like, draw it as a blueprint?
And it just kind of looks at you and it
All my
tilts its-
conversations with this
yeah.
thing's in its head, so it can talk back.
Yeah, it just looks at you and kind of tilts its head. It's not accustomed to being able to speak, so it's more just emoting towards you.
I'm not good with charades, buddy.
You're not gonna what?
I'm not good with charades.
What is a charade?
How would you explain this to Kronk?
Who is
We
Kronk?
just talk. The big guy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start mending and removing the rubbish.
Okay. Yeah, so you start mending it.
I'm gonna Mr. Miyagi these fucking hands and.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, you will spend, because mending is a minute-long cast time.
Oh shit! It is okay. This is gonna be a while. Let's get comfortable.
Yeah, so you take the next 30 minutes or so, but you eventually remove all the rubbish and then fix Nim back and right as rain. And then afterward, it kind of like moves its arm, extends, does some shoulder rotations, moves some of its legs, and then it holds out its cloak to Ghost.
Oh, no, that's a him thing too.
I'm gonna click my hands like Hubris does because he always clicks when he does prestidigitation.
Kronk is never more than like 20 feet from this robot, by the way.
Yeah, and it has this very nice like golden rapier resting at its side. But other than that, it is just this mechanical creature.
So, when did you? How did you start living at the Gralhund Villa?
They took me in when I ran away.
Oh, would you what would you do there?
They had me deliver messages. They had me clean. They had me cook.
That sounds not very fun.
Messages to who?
What is fun?
Sorry.
I have a question too. I heard recently from these guys there was a person similar to you outside when there was an explosion.
10 days ago.
And it just kind of like moves its head down.
Is that you?
I was told to stop the gnome.
By whom?
Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Your family's really pissing me off, okay? Again, second day here, and already your family's been trying to kill people.
So, when the explosion hit, you ran.
Yes.
All right. Did you see who else was following the gnome?
There was a half-orc. 2
No one else?
humans.
Right. And they are dead.
Yes.
All right. So, I think. Wait, who were you delivering message to?
To Lord and Lady Castellanter?
Do you know what they said?
No.
They were written?
Yes.
Do we know these nobles?
Make a history check.
What were their names? Sorry.
Lord and Lady Castlelantern. Or I don't think not Castle Lantern. Sorry.
19.
What is their name? Cassalanter.
Castle Lantern.
It was
I got a
close.
19.
So you would know that Lord and Lady Castellanter are they are at like the higher echelons of society. You have heard of a lot of nobles trying to curry favor with the Castellanterns, as they have been an established family in Waterdeep for centuries.
Do you feel like we've held up our end of the bargain? Nim2.
Is
Yes.
this your rod, Nim?
Is this what?
Your rod.
This was Nim's rod.
Thanks for that, Barry.
It's just there. Okay, it's a robot. It's got a rug.
Do you feel like we have held up our end of our bargain?
Yes.
Would you feel comfortable giving me the map now?
Yes.
Hold
And
my
you see it look down at its chest and then kind of reach under the front plating of it, and you hear that there is just some kind of like a metal touching metal, as well as a little bit of a scraping noise as the hand then comes back out, and you can see that there is a small map.
What is the map of?
Looking at it, it looks like a map of Waterdeep. But there is an X that is marked on the map itself, and that X is located in the field ward. That actually is one of the wards outside of Waterdeep City proper, and it has a word that is written next to the X, and that is Thrakkus. Thrakkus.
God damn it. Okay. Do you know what Thrakkus is?
He is a butcher.
And you were to go there?
I did.
Or just... You did? And you got something from him?
I gave something to him. The lady's instruction.
Right. He has a stone, then.
Which lady's instruction?
Lady Gralhund.
Cool. Wow, I've got a lot of things to talk to cousin Yala about.
You sure you should be like bringing this up to your cousin?
I mean, she kind of wasn't up straight with us, but I
Yeah,
guess
so you sure we should be like, hey, we know you lied. Release your shadow creatures on us.
So,
I don't fucking know anymore.
was there anything that else she delivered? You delivered there. Was there a note with it?
No.
No.
Wait.
And did the split-lipped half-orc, the one who was following the gnome, do you know, did he have anything that belonged to Lady Gralhund?
No. He lived at the estate for some time.
What was he doing there?
I don't know.
Did he bring in those people who attacked?
Yes.
Do you know what he wanted?
He said he was tired of waiting.
Do you know what for?
It just shakes its head.
I'm
Well-
going to assume the treasure.
Right.
Probably wanted to get it then and there.
Did you deliver the stone before or after he arrived?
After I ran, I was told to deliver.
Did the split orc know that you were delivering this?
I don't know.
Okay. We might need to go there quickly.
What? To Thrakkus' house?
Yes.
When you say butcher, you mean like actual butcher, not a nickname butcher?
He runs a butcher shop.
Okay, actual butcher. That's kind of calmed my nerves a little bit.
Oh,
Well,
So what do you want to do, Robert?
Hide.
You can hide here.
It just kind of nods.
We're gonna be closed for a few days anyway.
do you need anything?
No.
It's a good house guest. Do you sleep?
No.
You don't eat.
No.
How do you get power?
And
I don't think Ghost would know that word.
it kind of just taps its chest plate and says, "The power is inside."
Power was inside you all along, then.
It's almost as strong as the power of friendship.
What is
Well,
friendship?
It's what we have.
What we have, yeah, see, look at that.
So
We are friends.
when we are
Yep.
friends, which means we take care of you, and if you wish, you can take care of us too. But
I've
right
never
now-
had friends before.
oh, well, welcome to the Phantom Four.
You do now, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
Next
Kronk.
week, Torvash is leaving. Then we'll be playing that.
We wouldn't be able to talk to him then. Do you want a different name?
Does it just have a blank metal face?
Yep.
Like,
It's
I
a
draw
blank
a
metal
face
face
on
that it is a. It looks like I want to say the Man of La Mancha, if you are familiar with that, like a very like pronounced swooping chin underneath a kind of a longer nose in front, not as bulbous as the Man of La Mancha. It comes down to more of a finer point, and you can see that there is like a musketeer mustache on this golden faceplate that it has.
I just alternate prestidigitation like eyes and features till we get the ones we really want.
For an hour?
Prestidigitation does not do that. Sadly.
I can add a picture to something.
Oh yeah, image. Yeah.
Just image an eye, like badly drawn.
Well, we have some books, so can you read?
I
Yes.
only drew eyes. How? What?
If you want to read some books, maybe you can come up with a new name for yourself if you want. Because Nim2 is fine if you like it.
No.
But you're your own person now, so
Robert the Robot.
No.
no.
Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger.
kind of looks like
Close.
kind of looks like this the Man of the Mancha, the face. So he was like Don, like Don Quixote.
I will read these books.
Let us know.
Riley's a pretty good name. I like Riley.
No.
Well, I'm glad you're taking some initiative on yourself. So, the books are over here, and I'm going to point him towards the library.
Okay.
Isn't it Hubris's room?
Yeah.
The books are in there. I need to
So-
keep the place neat.
Yes. So, if you don't mind, since we are friends now, try not to. Don't go in that room. There is a dead body in there. I point to the room with all the furniture in front of it. Just don't try not to break anything.
Okay.
And do you promise that you won't go back? You'll stay here?
I don't want to go back.
Solid. Very good. Well, we have a trip to go on, so we will be gone for a little while. Liv will take care of you if you need anything. Liv, darling, are you about, or are you still watching Wolf?
You hear a yay come from behind the door that is in Wolf's room.
Do you think we can let him out?
Probably.
Liv, you can be free of watching Wolf. I think if he were to turn undead, it would have happened.
And we only did that like at night or when we weren't around. Otherwise, Liv was
Free to
Free.
be.
yeah.
Okay.
The Nimblewright just kind of doesn't know what to do with the spirit floating around. But it just goes over and begins pulling a book off of Hubris's shelf and then begins starting to read through it.
I'm gonna gather everyone. Is this a good idea? Leaving it here.
When has any of our ideas ever been good?
I'm
I've
honestly,
gathered you never had a good idea.
I'm honestly concerned that it is going to go back to the Lady Gralhund. Although, I mean, it being a machine, it could be told to do whatever it pleases.
We have the map. It just something doesn't add up in my head.
What?
She was so adamant about this map, but she knows where the location is.
We make a copy and put the cross somewhere else.
But he brought it to the butcher. It says on the map that. I agree that I don't trust her.
Man, that's heartbreaking.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I have a lot to process as well, but yeah. Let's get to this guy, get whatever it is, and figure out what we need to do from there.
All right, Liv.
Yay!
Please don't let anyone in the house that isn't us.
And you hear the sound of locks.
Thank you. And if I don't think you can stop the robot. What are we calling it? The Nimblewright. If he is going to try to leave, but if he does, please try and remember everything that he does while he's here.
I've seen it. I can locate it now.
Oh, that's true. All right.
Hubris pulls out the rod and squishes it.
We're good. We've got him if he goes missing.
And then I'm going to lean back into the group. No one has anything here that is of value that somebody else would want, right?
No.
Carry it all with me.
All right.
Just got a dead body. That's it. Necromancer,
Whoa.
maybe.
I was say, Ghost said of value.
Wow. Wow.
It's a bit fucking harsh.
Yeah, right.
Like, I thought he was your friend.
I can't rag on my friend.
Not when he's dead.
It's kind of in poor taste, Hubris.
Yeah, gosh, man. I turned to Kronk. I can see why he's in the doghouse.
And you say it out loud, or you say it
Yeah.
in his head?
Out loud. I'm not going to hide this one.
Hubris just like glares.
You're going to fit in just fine here, Torvash.
In
All
children's
right.
head, it's just hit me. I dare you.
What is going on?
Wouldn't want to waste a good punch. Walks away.
You couldn't hit me if you tried, Cripple.
Oh my gods.
Wolf 2.
Go ahead.
Usually, Kronk is like the last to leave. So as everybody starts filing away or whatever, Kronk will like pop his head back in the library or Hubris's room, and he'll say, "Crushinator" or Mr. Mustache. Those is good names. And then he follows everybody.
Yeah, and you can see that it's already about a third of the way through the book that it was reading. And it just
You don't have any
nods towards you.
magazines in there, do you?
Any what?
I mean, there's probably some smut in there from when the library was stocked. I haven't gone through everything yet.
It's learning a lot.
Come on, this isn't Caleb's bag.
Just send an AI to learn from Twitter. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, so you guys are exiting your house once more.
Oh, I was gonna pop in, grab Frankenstein off the shelf, and just shove it into the...
Burn it.
Okay.
No, I was gonna give it to the... What's it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually a decent book about, like, that sort of thing.
This is
Yeah.
from
What
the
makes a
half-elf Marie Shelley.
Yeah.
She's an Aluskan noble. Who spent a winter night out near Mirabar. Anyways, so what is your guys' current plan? Are you
What time is it?
at this point? It is getting to be early evening, so it would be about like 4 or 5. The sun is set now. You guys are in your twilight stage of the day, considering that it is winter now, so the nights are much shorter than you are typically accustomed to.
How far is the field ward from here?
The field ward, luckily from where you guys are, the field ward is through the north ward. Not that long of a trip. It would probably take you about 35 minutes or so to actually get to the ward itself. The only problem is that the northernmost gate closes at sundown. So in order to actually go out to the trade ward, you would have to go all the way back out and around unless you made your trip quick. As you know that the gates themselves are going to be closing at around 6:30.
That's also
Well-
that's not to commit crimes at night.
If
Unless you're not starting a fire.
the thing is, he already has 2 days ahead of us. So, do we go now or do we wait? Because if he was going to get something from there, he would have gone and gotten it 2 days ago.
He's just found out the information
How?
through the other rich people. I don't know. We got the map.
What do you think, Hubris?
Looking for the map, so maybe he doesn't have a clue where it is yet. We might as well go check now and then just double back on our way in.
Kronk?
I mean, he Hubris, or you guys said he took something from the house, like a book or a ledger or something.
He took a diary, am I right?
No, he took an infernal holy text to Asmodeus.
Just pointing out that's what your
That's
relative
true.
who has just lied to us constantly said.
True.
Anyway, I'm all about going.
All right, let's go.
Double speed,
Bundle up.
a little bit faster than a casual
Yeah,
stroll.
Hubris like throws on his hood.
Yeah.
Shooting into his coat.
All right, so yeah, you guys are dressed warmly enough that you don't have to worry about the night chill that is wrapped over Waterdeep, and you begin making your way out to the field ward. As you pass through the northern gate, the guard who is on duty at the gate lets you know that they will be closing the gate in roughly an hour and a half, and that if you wish to return through this gate, you either have to go and wait until morning for them to reopen. Otherwise, if you wish to return to the city, you must go around to the southern side.
And how long would that take to go to the southern side?
It would take, walking around, it would probably take a total of 2.5 hours.
Is there any way we could bribe our way back in?
Unless you can bribe through a closed gate.
No one's gonna be there. Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think I can bribe it. I am a bard. Like, I could always try and be like,
I seduce the
"Okay."
gate. Oh, it opens.
Drop the drawer bridge.
Nat 20. What you gonna do, DM? What you gonna do?
Kronk was just thinking, oh, I'll get through the gate.
Right? I was thinking.
Masonry. He
Kronk
knows-
can definitely get through the gate.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, you guys are going out to the field ward. And when you do, you start, you can see that this is very much, it's a like a squalor city, whereas inside Waterdeep is very much a city of splendor, where there is a ridiculous amount of guild presence and everyone is kind of well taken care of. Out here in the field ward, it is not that. These are ramshackle homes that you know that multiple families will spend their winters in. They don't really have the means for a consistent fire except for firewood, but you can see that there are kind of barrels and other areas that have been set up in general camps so that way people can come and get warm and then continue about their day. And you also notice that it smells terrible, mostly because of the prevalence of both cows and pigs that reside here year round, as this is where the farmers will typically reside, as there just isn't room for any livestock within the city of Waterdeep proper. And make a set of either persuasion or investigation checks as you try and track down Thrakis's butchery.
Can someone make it with advantage with everyone helping?
Yes.
Or...
Natural 20.
Same.
Okay.
I'm talking to the door. Sup, door?
How you doing? The
The
door gets stiff.
The door blushes
It is,
and says,
it is full
"Ooh."
of hard work.
Woo, what's this?
So yeah, asking around, and it doesn't really take you guys all that long, maybe 15, 20 minutes. It seems like Thrakis is actually a pretty well-known butcher here in the Field Ward. And you know that his butchery is known as the Meeting Place.
This guy doesn't seem that bad, okay?
And
So-
that they are a red dragonborn.
Cool. How do you want to do this?
Isn't that the DM's line?
Not this DM. It's another long-haired, handsome individual.
Goatee.
Mercer, if you're
Do we
listening,
go-
quit stealing my
so
style.
our options are we go in there half-cocked, asking for the stone, or we could try to bamboozle him into giving us the stone. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should get our footings first. Go in, speak with him, and see where it goes was the words that I was going to say, but I feel like that's not a good idea.
I can try and charm him with my sunglasses.
That's true. We do have a bard now.
Could also masquerade as Nim too.
Can you?
How can you look like a robot?
Hubris smiles. Is there a private place you can go?
No. We're all friends here.
No,
How are
no.
you going to look?
We are out in the middle of the fucking street.
I don't think that's a good
Yes.
idea. Mainly because, well, no, I think that is a good idea. If you, well, you said it, not me. Yes, why don't you turn into Nim too? Remember, he cannot speak.
Blessing and a
Oh, you
curse, I
should
guess.
do that more often.
Why
And
did you get so sassy all of a sudden?
Who are you looking at?
You,
Because I'm
Torvash.
asking you.
I
looked
thought
at
you were
Greybeard.
supposed to be the nice
I'm
guy.
and I mean, literally, I could wrap my cloak around him if
Mhm.
I needed to.
Oh, it's fine. I could probably. It's not gonna work like that though. You don't need the cloak. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you
Are-
just kind
are
of
you gonna
find a
be-
little alley to set yourself into.
Yeah, and I imagine it's kind of like a roulette wheel of masks that appears, and he just picks like the Man of the Mantra one and slaps it on. And I'm gonna cast Disguise Self to turn
Okay.
myself into Nim 2.
Are they the same size?
I made a wall.
No, I can make myself 1 foot higher too.
Yep.
Just walk out. I feel ridiculous.
You can't speak, remember?
Yeah, shut up.
I'm gonna put my finger on his mouth.
And your
Put it on
finger
his-
goes through the illusion.
Oh, sorry. Shall we?
You look pretty cool.
You didn't have a rapier, do you?
Longsword?
I give him my rapier and I'll prestidigitate it gold so it looks like.
Mm-mm.
No?
It won't work because it would fit onto my body, so the rapier will sink into the illusion.
Son of a bitch. You can just carry it, right?
Just in front.
Just
Yeah.
hold it like a normal.
No.
Or that's still.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. If you just asked about the sword, it's not my fault.
So what are you going to do when you go in there?
Look around. I can't talk, so maybe
Write a note.
yeah, we should write a note.
Do we have our handwriting?
Fuck.
I'll go in with you as an interpreter. Didn't trust it to a note.
All right.
Unless you got a note.
No.
You got front, I got back. So Kronk says to Ghost.
Yes.
I go
Did
to
you guys have a safe
find
word?
a back or sideways
Oh.
a side door.
Yes, our safe word is carriage. If things start to go to shit, you say carriage.
That's why you yelled it out when you jumped the road. Okay. It's making a lot more sense now.
All right. Good luck. Do you know what you're going to say?
Mm-mm. Never
All right,
stopped me
Kronk.
before in the back.
Kronk, be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys make your way to the meeting place, you can see what looks to be a burned down windmill, where the top section of it is kind of burnt off, where there would normally be the large blade fans, but again, those seem to have just kind of been destroyed, and it seems like the entire building itself is in disrepair. You can see that there is the tower, and then there is a section of about 60 feet. There are two doors placed next to it. One has a bunch of padlocks and chains kind of keeping the door shut. And then the other you can see what looks to be a large butcher's blade with a name engraved into the blade itself that says the meeting place, that hangs over the door for the westernmost door in this small structure. And looking around, you can hear the sound of a butcher's knife hitting against a table, sinking through meat. But you don't see any... you see that there are a few lights that are on. It looks like there is just a small candle that is lit inside of this room. And where normally you would expect to find windows, instead is just the lead casing for where windows once were. And it seems like any of the glass has kind of been shattered and broken out. Possibly from the same event that led the windmill to burn down. You aren't exactly sure.
Was this like a long time ago burned down?
Yeah, it does not look recent. This
Okay,
looks,
good.
it looks like there is somebody who lives here. It's just
Okay.
that it was cheap real estate.
Cool. What was I gonna say? Nope, it's gone. Fuck. If things don't go well,
Kill him?
No. Well, this can be just a recon mission. We just need to make sure that the other guy hasn't been here. Okay?
I got this. I have a new spell which I want to try out.
Right.
So-
I'm going to do a cursory glance around us and just make sure that we haven't been followed.
Yeah. Nobody has followed you. If anything, you can see that there's kind of like a more like hunched over looking humanoid. They seem to be a half elf, a little bit more gaunt in the face. Possibly like they haven't been eating nearly as well as they should be. And you see them kind of like look at you and then walk over and open up the door that is on the central tower of this windmill, and then they walk inside.
Okay.
So, quick question. And I think I'm reading this right. Detect thoughts. They only need to do the save and know I'm probing if I try to probe deeper?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Because it says questions verbally directed can shape its thoughts, so I can initially see what's they first think of if they lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I would like to cast that on myself before we go in.
Okay.
Because it lasts a minute, so we have a minute to interrogate this dude.
Okay. So yeah, you and Nim 2 decide to proudly go into the butcher shop where no men have gone before. And you open up the door and you can just see that there is just this hulking red dragonborn. No tail, like some dragonborn that we know. Who just has his hand raised up with a large butcher's axe, and then he brings cleaver, and then he brings it back down on this large hunk of meat that he has set up. And then the blade sinks into the table, and he kind of rights himself, rinses his hands, and then turns around.
So, a customer. What can I do for you, hey? What are you doing with that thing?
We have a message for questions. They didn't trust it to letter this time. I can communicate, and I'll talk in his head, similar to like this, but with the robot. And I'd say, Hubris, you can translate, you can talk and translate through my head, because I have no idea what I'm saying.
What's the letter? You said you had a letter for me. What is it?
Hubris, he wants you to say what he should say.
I have no idea. I just
the lady wants to know if a split-lipped half-orc was here.
No.
do these thoughts lie?
No. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen a split-lipped half-orc.
Does he still have the object I gave him?
No.
Quizzical head turn. Oh. Does the guy think of the object?
When he does, you see that it is this, because you can get like a visual representation of it.
That's Torvash.
Yeah, Torvash. What does Detect Thoughts do?
You can read the thoughts of certain creatures. What it's most on its mind. It doesn't really say how it appears.
Yeah. No, so you can feel him thinking about different things that he would have possibly been given, and then quickly recalls Stone, and that's when he says no.
Okay. Whom did you give it to?
None of the lady's business.
Did he think of who he gave it to?
You see that it is like you kind of get the image of what looks to be a human man, kind of longer, dark hair, clean shaven.
It's not one of those noble people, right?
Are you thinking the Castle Lanterns or
Yeah.
Castle Lantern? No, it's not one of them.
Okay. What are we doing now, Hubris?
Ask him if he bought it.
Yeah. I don't know. Was that item bought or given? It's just.
I have a question. The
Shoot.
two of you.
Don't actually shoot, but go on.
Why? Why are you coming in here asking questions? I did my job. Fulfilled my end of a bargain. So why am I getting heat?
I mean, as he says that, there's a little bit of flames that kind of come out of his mouth.
There was an incident the other night, and the lady just wants to make sure everything's still good. You probably heard about the invasion, death.
Yeah, that's when he came to see me the first time. So what's changed?
We're just making sure everything worked out fine. I'm awesome.
I guess the person who incited that riot got away. So he's out here.
Wait, what?
The split lift the person who incited
okay.
that riot got away.
So we're just trying to protect.
Her interests.
Which in line is your interest, so actually we're trying to help you out.
And that he kind of leans back and grabs the cleaver that was on the table, and he just like tight grips it and says,
I did my end.
Good day. Just if you think of anything else.
Fuck off.
Did he think of anything else when I said
yeah, you got a very stark fuck off.
Good day to you, sir. Like to name your business. How much for some bacon?
It's actually a pretty reasonable deal.
Ask if he has sausage.
And sausage. You have sausage.
I got plenty.
Yes, I have. So how much for like?
How much?
See, I need to feed 4 people. One of them's like Goliath. How much you got?
I have 30 pounds of bacon.
Price.
I have a barrel of sausage.
Price.
You're gonna be looking at 1 gold per pound bacon.
Ooh.
You do like 5 pounds of bacon.
Mates rates.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Mates rates. But we're friends or not?
I have never seen you before in my entire goddamn life.
Yeah, but if it's decent bacon, you could see me more often.
There's an audible eye roll as Nim 2 walks out the door.
It's the best bacon you'll ever eat.
Yeah, so how about you just give me some so I can make sure.
You're dipping into wolf. You're dipping into wolf.
Bring it back.
Just pay the man. Pay the man.
Fine.
He sees that Nim is kind of walked off, and then he looks at you, and he just like, and you're still like, maybe we could work out a friends deal, and he looks at you and says,
I could cut you a deal.
Okay.
On one condition.
I need to hear it first before I agree to it, because one time, it didn't work out well.
And that is when he actually walks over towards where the door is that Nim 2 has stepped out of, and he closes it, and then you see him lock it.
Are there any evil thoughts? I'm assuming this is towards the
Your
end of my
spell
minute.
has run out at this time. And he looks at you and says,
I have the best meats in town. I can't get any from that bot, but I can get some from you.
And he levels his cleaver towards you.
Carriage.
And that is where we are going to call it for tonight. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who's decided to come by and enjoy our trip through the streets of Waterdeep. It turns out there's a dragon man who is in the mood to nibble on a bard.
What the fucking door?
Carriage. Wait, how does that thing work? Do I just need to know someone's there?
Just yell it. Just yell it.
But yes,
I need to be able to see them. Shit.
So we are going to pick up next week as our dear friend Thrakis gets to know our friend Torvash a little bit more up close and personal. But other than that, you find us here same bat time, same bat place most days throughout the week. We have a Patreon, we got Discord, we got all sorts of stuff. But most importantly, we got friendship, including the friendship of the Phantom 4 that you guys extended to a robot. So, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, hi, I'm RJustice here RJ here on the show. You can find me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream Overwatch with these lovely people. You can catch me on the Monday show as Calum, and on Saturday coming up on Monster of the Week at Pro Restarters channel at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Greybeard, where can we find you? What do you do?
Yep, I'm alive. Okay. I'm Greybeard of Greybeards Tavern. You can find me here, of course, being Kronk Gorblatz. And on Thursdays, now you can see me as Bavard Chanson, a diplomat on Pro Restarter's channel at 1 o'clock on Thursdays, Eastern Standard Time. And we are playing Blue Rose, the game of romantic fantasy. And let's see, other than that, Sunday, we, of course, play Darkest Dungeon with, all the props in the universe. So come check us out.
All right, awesome. And LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm LBHackEmUp. I am on here Mondays and Tuesdays. And on starting this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be also on Pro Restarter's channel doing a Birthright campaign where you can find all of my cats. And on Sunday, I am on Encounter Roleplay's channel playing in a Fate game as the quote-unquote cute, nerdy bookworm.
Yeah. All right. And Barry, where can we find you? What do you do?
I come here where next week I will be playing actual Nim 2 as Torvash is going to die. Make the best bacon in the world.
We have stats for Warforged. You could totally do it.
We got it covered. No matter what, Barry will be here next week. Then there's Twitter and Twitch. Yeah. I don't know what else. I don't think I have anything else. Gen Con, August, that's about it.
Yeah. If you guys want to see all of these lovely faces in person for the most time, like I know that I am going to be enjoying seeing for the first time, then you guys should totally meet us at Gen Con. It'll be rad. More details to come about that. Like, I know I'm going to be letting people know what my panel schedules are just because I want to meet people and I also want to enjoy panels and such.
We've already got badges and hotel rooms. That's how committed we are.
Yes.
And you could totally wait 3 hours online like Wings did with Steven that one time. Oh.
Yeah, no, we saw Inc. live, and I am over Jerry Holkins' shoulder in the live recording, so to me, it was worth it. But if you are looking for other videos to possibly catch this face in, you can check out our VOD on YouTube, which is youtube.com/theindooradventurer. There is also the VODs on Twitch, which if you are watching this here on Twitch, then I'm assuming you know where to find us. But if not, twitch.tv/theindooradventurer. There is also our Patreon, which we have up for Patreon/theindooradventurer, which on Friday, we are going to be having a special one-shot that is going to be not patron exclusive, but Patreon exclusive. So it's only going to be found there. So if you want to find out what Corey was doing on the moon while she was gone from yesterday's game, you can check us out on Patreon. Which again, patreon.com/theindooradventurer. Then we also have our other podcasts that you can listen to, which is on the audio platforms of Podbean, iOS, Google Play, Spotify, aka Spoofy, as well as any of your standard audio podcast listening formats. And that is my spiel about where you can find more of us, because we are going to now be going into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, which, if you are a patron, you get access to. Otherwise, feel free to ask us questions anyway, and we'll do our best to answer them in Nights in the Courtyard. So until next week, we will see you guys later. Oh, and I also do Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I have another stream that I do that's video game based. So if you are like, Indoor plays too much tabletops, they'll come watch me punch things in Dark Souls, because that's what that game needed, was a difficulty curve. So we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.